How do you begin inner child work? The success of working with your inner child depends on how you engage with it. Your inner child is not your enemy. Even if you've experienced it as negative voice within your head. It's only trying to reach out and be heard, so it can receive the love it never did when you were in childhood. Before you begin working with your inner child, you need to aware of the following steps. Embracing your inner child. Nothing positive can happen until you acknowledge the struggle of your inner child. The reason why you may be feeling out of balance is because your traumas have been suppressed for so long. The first thing you must do is start by building bridges with your inner child. Recognizing your triggers. Your main goal here is observation. You need to pay close attention when you react in certain situations and what causes you to do it. What you're looking for are patterns in your behavior. Once you've established how you're acting in the present, you can start retracing your steps to the root cause. Engage in reparenting yourself. Reparenting yourself is where your inner work really begins. You need to become the loving adult that was missing at key moments in your childhood. It's hard to accept. But your feelings are your responsibility. You need to provide yourself with the love that only you can. The most effective inner child healing exercises, and why they work. Be warned before you begin these exercises. They might bring up some uncomfortable feelings. Working with your inner child isn't a walk in the park. And if you've experienced moderate to severe abuse, you might find you need the guidance of someone to help you, especially if you've been sexually abused. But don't let that put you off. It'll do you no harm to give these a try. You can do a lot of good for yourself by engaging with these healing exercises. But just be aware of what your limits are. They're presented roughly in the order it's best to engage with them. Speaking to your inner child. Before you do anything else, you need to gain the trust of your inner child. If you've been particularly traumatized, your inner child is going to be wary of any communication that might seem disingenuous. You need to start off slow and gentle. Don't go rushing in, and don't make promises you can't keep. And remember, this is your inner child. So speak to it as if it is a child. Be gentle and compassionate. Acknowledge that you've been ignoring its needs and start building bridges. In beginning, you need to say things like, "I'm sorry I've been away for so long. I'm sorry I've neglected you in the past, I'm here now, it's okay, I love you." Writing letter to your inner child. This is an extension of speaking to your inner child. If you feel like you'd like to express yourself more, putting pen to paper is a great way to create a bond with your inner child. You want to write this letter from the perspective of the loving adult you are now. You could even choose to write as a fictional character who exhibits all the traits you think your inner child needs in their life. You can really have some fun with this exercise. But come to it from a place empathy. You might even want the first letter you write to be an apology, writing a letter from your inner child to yourself, by reversing the perspective and writing from your inner child. You can uncover a lot about yourself. But it's advisable that you try the other letter first. Writing from your inner child might take a little practice. It's coming from a different part of your inner being. The subconscious. A good way in this exercise is not to overthink it. See if you can get into a mode of automatic writing. Once you start flowing, the information flows through you. In fact, you'll be surprised at what comes out. But remember, you need to be honest with the process. You can't self-censor. It all needs to come out. Create loving affirmations for your inner child. Affirmations are one of the best ways to reparent yourself. They're a big step up from simply speaking to your inner child. And it's where you start doing the real work. Here's where you get specific about the changes you want to create in your life. You can use the material from the letter writing exercises to steer you in the right direction. They'll provide a wealth of insight. Because you want to go beyond simple dialogue. You want to reverse your negative thought constructs and create a better relationship with yourself. And you do that by rewiring your subconscious. You want to begin each affirmation with, "I am." Doing this connects you with your heart space and allows you to manifest these changes much quicker. Here are a few examples. I am more connected than I have ever been to my inner child. I am grateful for the presence of my inner child. I am at peace with my inner child. Notice, the phrasing of these is different than the examples mentioned in speaking with your inner child. You shouldn't choose one over the other, as each have their own purpose. How long does inner child work take to complete? This is going to depend on your circumstances. You'll take as long as you need to go through your own process of healing. It's not the answer you want to hear, I'm sure. But it's the truth. The amount of work you have to do will also depend on what type of trauma you've experienced. If your wounds are things such as abandonment and other issues of neglect, they'll be fairly easy to overcome. But if you have deep-rooted issues with physical or sexual abuse, your journey is going to be much longer. Do be aware, though. These exercises aren't intended to make you relive your past trauma. They're tools designed to help you build bridges with the forgotten part of yourself. So if at any point you feel like you're bringing too much to the surface, stop. Take a break. Reassess your situation, and then try again when you're ready. Doing these exercises can offer you great insight. But they're not the complete package. This is just the start of your inner child work. If you're someone who's experiencing profound difficulties, you may want to see a practitioner who can work with you on a deeper level.